I realized that I am only few of those people who are who have expertise to write for animation. I decided, and there was a dearth of animation writer in the industry. Today, there are not a lot of animation writers. So I decided to train people, teach people, and to make a team. So that's how the Creative Content Studio started. And currently we have 15 animation writers with us, and we write for leading animation shows and channels and broadcasters and YouTube shows as well. Now let me describe you what is script for animation. But before that, we have to understand what is the story. So I will start with a. I would like you to have a major understanding about what is the story. So I will share one document, and that's how. Just hold on, please. Okay. So I hope you must have seen this image before also. This is a maze where you can see there is a rabbit, there is a carrot on the side of the image, and in between there are different ways, there are paths to find out the carrot. In general, we do to solve this maze, we have to go through from rabbit's point of view, from his side towards the carrot, and that's the very tedious and very difficult part to to solve the maze. But if you do it from other side, from the carrot side, it will be very easy to reach. Means at the end, if you have decided the end first, then you move towards the beginning. I am showing you this image because just a second, let me start. Why I am showing you this? Because I want to you what is the story. The story is like a maze. It it has a start, a middle, and the end. But normally what happens when we start a story without thinking about the goal, the end, we lost our paths, and in by the time we reach in the middle of the story, forget that we have to move. And that's how many people they give up writing, or thinking about to how to complete a story. So that's how we come up with an idea to decide first where you want to end the story. You'll see the universe is full of stories, like uh, the maze itself is a story. The laptop which you're using, or mobile phone you are using, has a story. It started from it has a journey which started from there, and today ended here in this webinar. So story means a journey. In Hindi or Sanskrit we call it kahani, katha. So whatever you can say is a story. So that's how we define story. So once you understand definition of story, then we can move ahead toward different kind of storytellings. But I want to know now, after describing this, I want to know from all of you, any of you, if you have question regarding story first, then we will move. You will take it from there towards the next level.
Uh, Hi Vivek, Priyanka here.
Yes, yes, I can hear.
We can't able to see your screen; it's blank.
Just. You can't see the maze which I shared.
No,
Just a second. Let me try it again. It's showing sharing. I don't know. Okay. I thought I was sharing it. Wait, can you see me now? Hello?
We can see
We
you,
can
but
see you, sir, but not your
Okay.
screen.
Okay, just a second. Let me try it again. Now, can you see the image?
Yes, sir.
Sorry?
Yes. It's a maze with
Yes.
the rabbit and the carrot.
So can you see the rabbit and the carrot and the maze in between?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is example of a story, like how the rabbit started its journey and reaches to the end. But before starting the journey as a writer, we have to understand where we need to, where we are going to end the story. Like we should have a goal. Okay. Like the webinar has a goal that we need to understand what is animation writing. It's the same way every story should be a predefined end. Then it will be easy for you to complete the story. Okay. So now I want to know that was again. Uh, just let me know if okay. Any question regarding this? I would like to know if anyone any query about uh, story session like which I told you. Okay. I guess or you can chat here as well. You can send message if anyone has a doubt or something. Okay, I think I should move ahead because I'm not able to get any messages. So I think everyone is clear about this. So coming back to the story. So as I defined what is story, now let me tell you what is animation. And you must be knowing the animation, but there are four types of animation. Definitely you must have known that. But again, I want to share it and will tell you the story. Okay. Can you see this? My screen, can you please tell me? Hello?
No, actually, your screen is blank again.
It's blank. Okay, let me try again. And now?
Yes, it's visible, sir.
Sorry?
It's visible, sir.
Okay, so can you see there are four types of uh, animation? One is traditional animation, which is like the Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck and Disney, earlier Tom and Jerry, where frame by frame they used to draw, and to create animation sequence. The other one is 2D vector animation, which is like Flash and other things, which is nowadays very common. So, and the third one is the 3D computer animation, where like you create a model, rig it, and then animate it, frame by frame again. So, and the fourth one, the stop motion animation. These are the most popular categories. Where stop motion is again, you will click photographs of every single frame by moving the realistic model. That's how they create the animation out of it. But what is very common in between all these four mediums is the script. Why I'm saying that? So let me tell you first about what is animation writing and what is live action writing. Live action writing is not need to be detailed script. Okay, in uh, live action writing, you can write. You can. I got the message. Okay, no, sir. So, did you see what I shared? Please send me the message if it was on.
Sir, previously happened, but
Vivek, sorry to interrupt. Actually, you have not shared your screen, I guess. We can't say anything.
Okay, because I heard like someone was saying that yeah, I could. Okay, uh, let me. Okay, let me try again. It.
the types of animation was visible.
Sorry,
The types of animation screen you shared was visible.
visible.
Yeah, visible.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, it was visible. Yeah. Okay. I hope everyone saw because ma'am didn't see that. Okay. So okay, let's move ahead then. If everyone saw that, so I will share it again. I think there is some problem, like not everyone could see. So I will share it again. Just give me a second. Okay. Okay. Uh, please tell me, can you see it now? The screen?
It's grayed out.
Okay. And ma'am, you can you see that?
It's not visible.
Yeah, it's blank.
It's blank.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. But I don't know what is happening. Okay. I will try it again. Just hold on. Okay. Now
It's
It's
visible.
visible.
visible, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you can see four types of animation. Traditional animation, which is frame by frame, traditional classic animation, which we call. The second is 2D vector animation, where we use computer graphics as well to create like nowadays, which is very popular. The third one is the 3D computer animation, and the fourth one is the stop motion animation, where we move the objects or the models, small miniatures, to get photographs frame by frame, and then create the sequence photographs as a moving animated film. So these are the four ones. I hope you have seen that. The idea to share it with you is to make the clarity about script writing about all the mediums of for animation. So there is a difference between live action and animation. Live action script is not always well defined. And why? Because mostly as a writer, when you write for for live action, you totally you have your rules, but not the detailed part, because mostly the director on set, he defines like, I want to move this character from that side, he should be sitting, he should say this or that, whatever. The writer just give the idea of the screenplay, how it should look like, not exactly frame by frame. That is the major difference. That is why live action writing is not well defined, like frame by frame. But for animation, the animation writer should know about the framings. He should know about the detailing parts. Why? Because whatever he is going to write is going to be a point of view of a director's point of view. And again, why? Because whatever the animation writer is going to write down, the storyboard artist is going to sketch it down, because the storyboard artist doesn't know what is going to come next. Okay, so he needs to understand. Yeah, he can add up things, but he has to follow what the writer has written. That is the major difference between animation writing and live action writing. Now, I want to know any of you any question regarding this. This is the basic of the basic difference. Yeah, please, Shantanu, tell me.
Hi Vivek, sorry to interrupt. We can have a question and answer session at the end of the session. You please
Okay,
go on with the session now.
okay, no issue. So, the four categories of animation writing, which I described earlier, right now, all the four, it has to be, the writing should be well defined. That is the major concern about writing, because it is going to help the storyboard artist as well, the director, creative director, or the director to understand what the writer thought and what is his idea when he wrote the script. And that is the but the question, what the difference between traditional 2D animation and 2D vector animation. Okay, so when we say 2D animation, traditional, that is classical, uh, uh, classic animation, we call it. So like Tom and Jerry, or you must have seen all the Disney shows of Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. So all those shows, all those animation were done by frame by frame. So earlier those days, they used to they used to draw one back, okay, one background, and then they used to draw the character sketches, and frame by frame, every, like 24 frames for a second, or maybe 25. It totally depend what kind of what type of animation, like the style of animation they want to produce. So they decide the frame, how, what is the rates of per second frame of uh, the animation. So they used to draw single frame each by each. That was a very tedious work. That's why if you see the uh, the style of those animation, like Tom and Jerry, very smooth. If you see that, it's very smooth, like the hand is moving like this, so you can feel it, that hand moves like that. But if you see nowadays, like the animation, 2D animation, like Chota Beam and others, like those are the flash animation. So if you see those animation, you will say that's very, and it has smoothness, but it's it's computer generated mostly. So it's the work has become more easy as compared to the classic animation. Classic animation means like you have to draw frame by frame, but in 2D animation, 2D vector or flash, you don't need to do that for to draw frame by frame. You can just simply start and made and few frames create the animation, like it will sequence wise. So that is the major difference between 2D classic animation and 2D vector animation. Okay. So coming back to so, the animation part again, the writing part for animation is the, the defining, like the writing for animation, it has to be well defined, because and production point of view as well, because I have seen a lot of writers, they come up with an idea that this a character is standing there and just beside him another character, and he hits him, and an aeroplane, it comes down from nowhere, and I'm just giving it a vague example. Why why this example? Because it's very necessary. I'm just it has to be understand that uh, what you're going to write. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I will come with this question: to what extent is the director involved in writing script for animation? Yeah. But before that, let me explain this so you will the question, so answer will come on this part. So when we are writing, someone is writing who doesn't know the animation writing, so he would write that this character hits the other character from there and hits, and 4 5 more character comes. The most important part is that the writer should know that the writing should be production friendly. When I'm saying production friendly, it means I should not involve, include in the frame more than 4 moving characters. Because the more animated characters you are involving in the script in single frame, it means it is going to be production heavy in terms of work, time and money. So as a writer, the one should know that how much liberty should be given to the script. It should not be like that. Whatever you imagine, it's very easy to imagine anything in animation because you can imagine aliens, blah blah, this that. But again, the costing and the production always be there. So you have to think from that point of view that it should not go beyond the limit of the production. So that's where the director involves when the writer for script animation, because mostly what happens, the director, it has a point of view which he shares with the writer, the style, like how the treatment should be in the script, and what kind of action, what kind of dialogue, what way the character should speak, what way the character should move and create animation. That the director decides first with some visuals, some references, and share it with the animation director. We, as a writer, we have to think from a director's point of view, what the director wants. So majorly 75% of the writing comes from the director's point of view as a writer. Okay. So we write for directors. Okay, being a director. So it's really a different way to think, but you have to think from a director's point of view, which the role is someone else. But it helps you to evolve as a director as well. And so once you know the what director wants, so you can create. It's like acting. Basically, it's like acting. You are acting like how the director wants, and you will give your inputs as a writer. Like the character will move like this, and uh, mm, he will speaks this kind of dialogue, the punchlines, and all these things. Now comes the storyboard artist, how he is going to visualize the shots. The question is there. Storyboard artists in India, uh, still now, they don't give much input in terms of creative ideas. Do with their experience, but mostly they don't do. And there's reasons. They do, like for example, I will make this mobile fall like this in writing that the guy drops his mobile, and that's it. But if a very experienced writer, experienced storyboard artist will be there, he will add, actions into that. The reason I dropped it to make, to create a gag. So I feel if suppose I'm a storyboard artist and I see that this mobile, when the character drops it, so it doesn't make, the gag is not that appealing. So what I'll do as a storyboard artist, that what he could do, that he can drops the character drop the character will drop the mobile phone in between, and then it jumps out. So it play with the actions to create, to add more exaggeration and create more fun in the shots. That's the basic role of a storyboard artist. If the writer have missed anything in writing, so he can add up, but not changing the script or not changing the shots, just to giving the and giving the framing, composition. That's what the is the so that is the major role of storyboard artist visualization. And that is very important role if you want to be a very experienced and very unique storyboard artist. You have to watch all the shows, because if you see that those movements like there's Heat. I have seen one Disney series where uh, Goofy and Mickey Mouse, they are walking on the street, and suddenly it's very uh, the sun is out just above them, and it's very the heat is there, and they are melting. So literally they shown that both the characters started melting. Now this is a part of storyboard artist, like he exaggerated. So exaggeration, if you know how to exaggerate, it will be your unique style as a storyboard artist. Like here, I can play with the exaggeration, or I can, you know, add something more into to make it what the writer wrote in script. So I will add it to, just fine tuning. You can say that fine tuning is the word where the storyboard artist play a very good role along with the director, because he discussed it with the director. So both, because storyboard artist, you can say, is a cameraman. He knows that you know what is the framing should, and the moment when the camera has to pan, zoom, and composition, where the placement of the character should be. These things are he plays with that. So it's not just a laborious work, or but if you know these elements, then you will start loving the work of storyboarding artists as a storyboard artist. But here in India, the problem is that mostly storyboard artists work as a vendor. When I say vendor, so they have given work like you have given this script. Now you just follow, don't add from those. If you think that the sequence, maybe the framings are too much or the actions are too much, then your experience, use the experience and just compile it and short it down, trim it. So these kind of work they do, and but ultimately the script, they have to follow the script. That is the again, it's a teamwork. If it's a good script, the always will be praised. But if the script is not good, the script is not well defined, then the burden on the story would always be there, because the client, the broadcaster, channel, studio, they will ask question to the storyboard artist: why are you taking so much time to frame down all these frames? And number two, they will ask why the storyboards are not so good in terms of gags. Okay, so storyboard artist, as an storyboard artist, the artist should always ask the question to the script writer, that I think this story, the script which you have is not that appealing, because the more dialogue you will have the writer through the director, right, then it will be more easy for the storyboard artist to reduce his work and to give the quality work. That is the teamwork between our writer, director, and the storyboard artist. And once the storyboard is done, then it will go for the animating. Maybe nowadays normally people start doing animatics instead of storyboarding, so, to cut the time, and then add animation and coloring and other after that. So as I told you in the that okay, how is coming with the original story different than to adapt from novel and books? Very good. But now it's totally depends, because I can imagine any original story anytime. But who's going to buy it? Who's going to take it? That's the question. Uh, there is a word called branding. Okay. So if I'm a brand, so my ideas, people will take it. Okay, because I have proved myself in past. So people will eager to listen the new story. So they will trust on my brand. Okay, so they will, they are coming with this idea. So yes, we want to hear the story, we want to see the story. But if I have not proved myself yet, so I have to, be totally. I have to go with the, reliable brands like the novels or the books which is already, published. So and then we have to follow those which is already popular, because that is, it's a market, and market wants, they don't want to play, it's a gamble. In market you can't play the gamble if you're a newcomer. So you need to go with the brand, so you have to create the director want or the producer wants, studio wants. Otherwise, you go what they want you to write for, and use your uh, uh, creativity. Okay. Asif is asking, for live action script, we research about the characters, traits, quirks, and the setting of the story from our experience and people, places around us. How can one research for animated character and define the setting? It's a very interesting question, because writing then when you asking this question. So when we say like live action and animation, live actions were what? So you must have seen a comical, you must have seen a serious cinema, you must have seen the fantasy, the mythology, everything is there. But in animation, still we are struggling in India. We are struggling with mythology and the comical part. Now I tell you one thing. For coming uh, the answer of this question. Recently, a month ago, my agent in US, uh, he introduced me to Netflix USA, and they wanted me to write a script in India, okay, which they are producing in Netflix US. They asked me to sample age group. Now, listen it very carefully. When I say age group, they asked me the age group is 6 to 12. For 6 to 12 audience, target audience, and they want me to write for that. If and I need to share some sample script for which I have written for broadcasters here. I send them one show called uh, Misadventure of sorry, not Misadventure, Adventure of King Vikram. It was on Disney XD like 4 5 years back, and I sent them. It was like King Vikram and Vikram. So I shared them. It was history and fights and magical and all these things. Bit of touch of mythology, because I knew that mythology what we have done here is not going to be international level like with the quality. So I shared with them, and they you know they called me back and they said, what the script you have shared is for pre-primary. The age group which you shared is for like 2 to 4, not 6 to 12. And that was a shock for me to understand that what is happening in international market. What we are showing is here by saying that Chota Bheem is for age group 6 to 12. The reality is not that. The reality is that 6 to 12 age group which we are seeing doesn't watch Chota Bheem. They watch something else. They watch Netflix nowadays. They watch YouTube shows where you know different other shows are on air. Like international shows are there. So that is the eye-opening experience for me to understand that what we are thinking as a writer, as a content creator in India, that all the kids are watching. No, that's not. So coming back to the question, when we are seeing, like you said, places around us, how can one research for animated character and define the setting? So first, before that, we have to understand what is the target and what is the category which we want to give it. Okay? Is it mythology? Is it pure and pure chase comedy, like we call it, like chase comedy for Tom and Jerry and all that, slapstick comedy, or we want dialogue based, like Chota Bheem? What kind of? So we have to target the audience first, and then we have to decide what kind of show is it chase comedy and so on. Once we decide that, and after that we pick a scenario, like as a live action we pick scenario, like as you ask, character traits and the setting of the story. Same way we pick scenario uh, to reach to the audience, to make the audience understand the story and have fun. uh, but again, in India it's predefined. As a writer, when I create my own IP, I come up with, not I don't come up with a fixed scenario. I come up with new ideas where I see that the how and as an audience a kid should see, or because for me I have to speak the audience point of view. Like the joke should be from his point of view, which he could, okay, not what I can understand as an adult. I have to be a kid when I am writing for a kid. That is how the research come in animation. What kind of jokes he likes, what kind of games, characters. So you can include all those things in the characters. You know, so the research comes in that part, because you are playing with a very delicate audience age group, because they are kids. With adults, again, it's not that delicate, because uh, you can come up with ideas. But with um kids, you have to be make sure that it has to be something very strong. It has to be very appealing, and again, you are not crossing the SNP rules, standard and practices rules, which we have to follow as a writer. That you can't show pointed objects, you can't show a bomb, you can't show fire, which the kid is going to imitate. The possibility of imitation is there. So that is why we have to follow all those SNP rules. So again, uh, animation writing is like, you can fly in the sky, but your wings will be chopped off. So uh, you have to imagine within your limitation. Okay, and the best part is that if you're able to imagine something, and the every imagination or writing is about how to give your message through writing. So if you're able to crack the joke through your writing without flying high, and within the limitation, it means you have achieved, and you can write anything. Uh, i have I have challenged a lot of people, the live action writers, that if they can write animation, I will, in first time, I will, I challenge them, one of my friend, and because I know that they can't so much detailing, so much of understanding of the characterization and the writing style. It's very different and very difficult for live action writer. But if you write for animation, definitely you can write for live action. For live action, if you can write for animation, then you can write for live action easily, because you know what is your going to be the outcome. So Neeraj Singh Rawat is asking, I think budget is also a key factor in India, as he was making mythology a few years back, and also there is a mindset in India that animation is very important. Do you think this is changing? Yes, absolutely, this is changing, and it has to change. Why? I tell you. First of all, animation in India, we call it, now it's changing, but we don't call it animation. Adults call it cartoon. We say that, okay, what you're doing, okay, you write for kids, it means you write for cartoons. That's not true. Cartoon is a style of animation. Okay, and I laugh on them that animation people think is for kids, but they haven't. I would say they are not aware about shows like South Park and Family Man, and things like that. There are a lot of shows which are on available on YouTube now. And when you ask that the mindset, is it going to change? Yes, it is going to change, because OTTV is on your hands now, in your lap, in your mobile, in your laptop, and things are changing. And recently, I wrote a series for adults. So it's not adults in terms of like porn or that. It's like adult animation when I say for everyone. Okay, so things are changing now, and we are coming up with ideas because people started liking it. Well, because there are a lot of shows on, as I told you, on OTT, Netflix, Prime, and all those. So things are changing, but I know it will take few more years to totally, completely change the scenario. And but I tell you, if you see on broadcaster, it will, I don't think it's going to change like Disney and Cartoon Network. No, it's not going to change so soon. They have to come on the same page of Netflix and Amazon Prime, and they will definitely, because the market is changing. So that's how it is going to change. Yeah. So again, uh, when we write, when we write for animation, it means you have to understand the psychology of your audience. And if you're able to write for animation and you understand the psychology of your audience, which is kid or adult, because you, then only you will be able to hold your audience attention. You know, otherwise he will just change the channel or change the, you know, he will shut the video. You can't hold. So you have to be make sure that you will hold him, and to hold is only one term, that is surprise. If you know how to surprise your audience, it means you can do anything. Because surprise create a joke, surprise create a thriller, surprise create a mystery. You know, that's how you are going to know, okay, what happens next? Okay, what happens next? So you have to surprise all the time in your script. Then no one can. It doesn't matter the animation is good or poor. If your scripting is full of surprises, then when I'm saying surprise, it doesn't mean that it should be mysterious or something. It means that, for example, I've given an example of a gag, then it will be more easy to understand. Suppose it's a scene and there are two characters, and one throws a ball towards one uh, another character. Now this is an action. So this ball goes and hits towards the character. Now I play as an writer. What I will do, I will give surprise. I will give this character. Okay. So now again, as a audience, I know that the ball. Okay, yeah, he's going to bend and the ball will. Okay. Now I will add. What I will do, I will just make him, you know, come back on his previous position, and now I will play again surprise. The ball will return and ball will hit him. This is a surprise. He will fall. Again, the audience will think, I know that, you know, the ball will return and flip him and hit him, and he will put down him. But I can play again with surprise. How? What I will do? He will fall down and he can flip, and he can flip, and he can, you know, fall to this guy. So that's the visual gag which I'm explaining, in how you can use the surprise in in visuals. That is the medium. Or even in dialogues, you can do the unexpected visuals, unexpected dialogues. That's how you create surprise, and that's how you engage your audience. And that's how these are the elements of writing which a writer should know. Otherwise, your audience won't sit in front of the device, and you will use the chance to uh, hold him, and you know, that's how the experience will teach you. Okay, I guess I know element now, and I think I should take more questions regarding what I have described, or maybe if I miss something, you can ask me. One more point, I just remember, from animation writing, like for 2D and 3D, for movies and animation shows. If you able to write for animation, you can write for, there are two, three more terms which have evolved recently, which is augmented reality and virtual reality for games. People think, like, if you're a writer, okay, so you will just write for 2D or 3D. But no, nowadays, as the market has evolved and augmented reality and VR, virtual reality and games, you know, writing for AR and VR is a new market. You can explore those market as well, and very few. All those, VR and AR creators, they have in-house gamers and programmers. They themselves create all this detailing, and it's very tedious. So if you understand how to write, you can write for those things. And a new opening for AR, VR will give you a new opening, and to write for games as well. Yes, I think I covered all those things for animation. Now you can ask me questions. Anyone? Everyone thinking like what to ask. I reset it, like how many questions I one, two. Okay. So there are a lot of questions which I answered, but I would love to answer more. Please ask. I hope you were able to hear me, or I'm just speaking like.
Don't worry, we can hear you, sir.
Sorry.
Don't worry, we can hear you, sir.
Okay. 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 So please ask me any question if you have. Yes. Okay. Here. So Eric is there, but I can't hear what he's saying. Or you can type if there is problem with network, I guess. So you can type here in chat box. Or let me ask questions. Meanwhile, you're thinking of the question you need to ask. I will not exactly putting in question. So ask questions or people, I don't know yeah, question. So please tell me who's going to answer. What is so can you tell me what is your goal? Why you want to get into animation? Me? Uh, Hello? Yeah, sorry, problem. Can you hear me? Saying Okay. So please tell me, what is the idea to get into animation? I want to ask this question to everyone. Foreign compared to Indian movies. Okay. So again, the um, for a Germany, one is in Singapore, another one is in Vietnam. Okay. It shows for Vietnam, Singapore, and Germany-based studio. And the difference between the Indian shows and, can you hear me? I hope you are hearing me. Am I audible? Okay. So I have for these are the major foreign countries which I have written for shows, and the different countries and India. In India, activity problem is there. Hear me?
Sir, your voice is cracking. Your voice is cracking. There is some network issue.
अच्छा लग रहा है यार ब्लॉग्स करने में आप लोगों को भी एंजॉयमेंट मिल रही है आप लोग भी मेरे जो है खूब बहुत
Hello.
कॉन्टेंट बजट कर थैंक यू मेरी जान लव लव वेरी
Yes,
नो
sir.
असली नो
Yes, sir, we are hearing you.
उसको बंद करो काम हो गया
I was saying that the difference is that uh, the target audience and the quality totally depend on what is your target audience, and absolutely the they don't fall they we didn't write for them for mythology, because it's totally what they want us to write for, in general traits and general scenarios. So that is the major difference, which is totally acceptable, because the quality matters there a lot, and how we gags very, that is the most important, the major difference.
Okay, I don't think we have any more questions, so
Okay.
I guess we can end the session, Mr. Vivek.
Okay.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you a lot.
Thank you.
Thank
So, bye.
you